Good morning, traders. Venderman here with FuturestraderElite with your NQ pre-market prep on 12/18. Let's jump into these charts and have a look at some high time frame structure. This here is set on the 1 hour, and something I want to point out is from pre-market prep yesterday. We was talking about we needed to protect this level right here. We had this green box in yesterday, and you can see we got down to that box just to the top side of it. Had almost a 100-point move or so right out of that area. So they did protect it. You can see now we're coming up on that golden pivot around 116. Questionable thing is, are we going to get rejection here for more downside play, or are they going to try to get above this golden pivot? Of course, the overall market is still bearish looking trend wise. You know, we could get through this golden pivot, tap this red trend line on the 1 hour here, and then have another rejection there. You need to wait and see if we can get above the golden pivot and close. Otherwise, it'd be more like a first reaction short. I don't know about here in pre-market if that'd be such a great idea with the ATR being low. But it's getting into the oversold zone on the overbought zone, I'm sorry, on the 1 hour. And we're getting real close to that golden pivot. So we could have some rejection there. You can see I got some precision entry zone boxes overhead already. A lot of those are still from yesterday's pre-market prep. Of course, we never got there. These red boxes are imbalance zones. Them red ones are on the off from the 15-minute chart. So is this red one up here is from a 15-minute chart. But we got a lot of making up to do here. You got this whole imbalance zone, and then you got these yellow lines inside here, which were all previous all-time highs at some point. In the R1 pivot at 344. Let's say in a scenario that we get above this golden pivot, I'll be sort of looking for some rejection areas in here. This first precision entry zone in yellow line, and then this one here. And then as we get up here, let's say that it does get up this way. We got another precision entry zone here with the trend line plus the pivot. I'd be careful in this area if we get here, depending on how we get here, because this box may be obsolete, but that pivot will be over here on this side of the trend line. It may try to sweep that trend line and tag that pivot for rejection. You just got to be prepared for every scenario. Say you get up here, it may reject, first reaction reject out of this box. You might get a rejection, 10, 15, 20 points, 30 points, and then it bounce and then break the trend line and hit the pivot. Or depending on if it came up that way with some speed and there was a lot of buyers, it could just pierce right through that box like it's nothing and the trend line and tag that pivot over here somewhere. That'll be down later on in the morning. We'll see what happens as we get closer to the bell. When we look at this structure and look to the downside, we still need to be thinking that we're going to keep going down, because we keep getting pushed down harder and harder, it seems like. Excuse me. So this is the low we had to protect yesterday that we was talking about, and we did so far. But if we take a leg down, the S1 pivot down here is at 723, and really we need to protect. We're at 100. That's at 723, and then we got this low over here where we got a little consolidation before it bounced. So let's see what level we're at over here. It's about 621. let's say 620 to, let's draw a box over here. Let's see. All right, we're gonna go from, say, 625 to 635. No, let's go, yeah, 625 to 640. We're going to change that to this. That's kind of going to be the line in the sand right now, 625 to about 640. I'm going to, if we do get a pullback and we break this S1 pivot, we need to be watching that. This red line on the screen here is 594. And, you know, well, we really need to save ourselves right there. Otherwise, we could be looking at this low down here, which is 1,000 points from where we're at now. I don't foresee that moving like that today, but you never know. We're not gonna predict. We're gonna react to what it's doing. So let's hop this down to the 15-minute real quick. See what we're looking at on there. All right. See, we're right here on this golden pivot. And then you can see I got this box here is about 180 to 190. This box here is about 240 to 240 to 251. It's 241 to 251. And then we got this box up here is at 315 to 325, just before the pivot. See, that got this consolidation right here on the 15-minute chart, trying to figure out what it wanted to do, chopping in a range of 60, 70, 80 points here before it decided to put in this big red candle. So you would have to think if this decides it wants to grind up today, we're going to find some pretty hot rejection right in this area, especially if it gets over there, you know, to this trend line before noon today or so. R1 pivot. This box up here is 370 to 375. Then 400 to 410 to the top side. And then, of course, you got this imbalance zone, which is really big, this red box, and then this red box. And everything's inside those boxes. So could be interesting. See how wicky, what the volatility is today. You know, right here to the downside from where we are at now, got this precision entry zone from 35 to 40. And then this little one down here is from 960 to 965. Definitely going to be watching both these zones, because if they decide they want to be bullish on the day and get this and drive it up this trend line but need to pull back, say they decide to pull this back before the market opens today and then try to tag this area right down here to save this low that this higher low that they already put in, and then or maybe they don't get there, they just pull back here to protect this higher low. They don't need to get past this line right here if they want to keep putting in higher lows. These higher lows don't matter. It's this one right here that matters, this one right here that matters. This one could do something here where this red line is, so say 10 to 15 right here could be something. And then the range, you see we got our overhead trend line is way up here, the red line, and our 1 hour green line here, trend line. That's a pretty big range. If they tried to tag them trend lines, we're down here at like 900 and then 400 or 500 points whipping around there. We just have to wait and see what NQ has in store for us today. Also been doing some watching gold as well. I don't not going to go over the chart on it today, but sat around waiting on a big trade on gold yesterday on the I think it was the 1 hour trend line. I cut a short and posted it. It's on YouTube from a trade I took in it. I think I waited around 2 hours for it to tag that 1 hour trend line so I could go short, and played by my rules, but I got out way too fast, left lots and lots of money on the table on that play. And so I'm gonna keep trying to watch gold. I don't know how many people trade gold that are also trading NQ, but I might start trading it a little bit more than I was, but only on high time frame. And then, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if we're gonna put in all-time highs before the end of the year on NQ. I mean, we could still do it. We still got plenty of time to do it. It's just we're quite a ways away from those highs now. We're at 20. I think we're still roughly 1,500 points maybe from the all-time high. So there's still plenty of time to do it, but they're going to have to do better than what they are to get it there. You know, we got to thinking about trying to put in an all-time high. That means that we need to take out 25.5 here real soon and close and stay above it, and then take out almost 700. And then if we can do that, let's switch back to the 1 hour where we can kind of look at this a little better. Yeah, all-time highs way up there, 655. Excuse me. So this area right here, changing my cursor, maybe you can see it better. All this area where these double lines are at right here, this whole area, we need to clear all of that. It's a lot of resistance we're going to find trying to get this structure back to the bullish side, and it can do it, but it's just going to take quite a bit. So we're looking at easily, just to make it a round number, we need to get above 700. I mean, all this area of confluence here is around 670. We might as well just say get to 700. And if we can get above all this here pretty quick, let me take a look at my calendar right quick. Not even sure what the market hours and days closed and all that are. I hadn't even looked yet. But we should have enough days left in the month, and there's always still the possibility of that Santa rally, which could start next week. And then if that happened, we could definitely still do it, but we need to get above this whole area here, get up in the 700 area, and then we can start thinking about what we need to do to tackle these next, because we still have this whole area from last week when we was doing pre-market prep where we could never get over this head and shoulders and this here. We just got these 4 rejections right here. It's a whole lot to get through by the end of the year, especially since they did this here after trying to test that area last time. So I hope that helps. Kind of keeps your mind open to what we're looking at throughout the rest of this month anyway, till the end of the year. As far as structure, you got to be able to be flexible, trade long, trade short, do whatever you got to do in order to make the trade, take the trade, be patient. Don't force any trades. Wait for the trades to come to you. We will hopefully have a good trading day today. I hope everybody's had a green week so far, and I will see you guys. I will update the precision entry zones on the chart before the market opens and post it in the Discord like usual. And I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great trading day.